who lamented several delays and frequent breakdowns of Banjul Bara ferry service. And the president revealed that his government has permanent plans of crossing point. As he's also said, and I quote, discussions have reached advanced stages to construct a bridge over Banjul Bara crossing that will last 50 years. The foundation stone will be laid in 2019, and the works will take 4 years to complete. This morning, you posted on Facebook that, and the headline is "My Take on the Proposed Banjul Bara Bridge." So, do you think it's achievable? Will President be able to do this?
Well, yes, I have a feeling that it's a possibility, although a very, very expensive possibility it would be. I mean, certainly the Gambia doesn't have that money, and there is no way that anybody will lend Gambia such an amount of money. But as I said in the piece that I wrote on my Facebook wall, there is a possibility of a BOT contract, that is build, operate, and transfer contract.
Yes.
Maybe an investor or group of investors may be interested in the project. They would refinance it, then operate it for a specific period, probably on a share basis with the government. At the end of that period, probably they would have recouped their money and then hand it over to the government. It's definitely going to be a toll bridge. That is, whoever is using the bridge will have to pay for it.
Okay. There is this saying that all politicians are the same. They promise to build bridges even where there is no river. Is it the same way of African politicians try to bring people or trying to, because we had Jame, it's Babili Mansa, and in your piece you mentioned like ozone builders, if you like. So is this another way of trying to make it a political gain?
Yeah, I mean, there is a possibility. As you said, former President Jame promised the Gambians a railway.
Yes.
And also we can remember that famous CD that he saw on television that about the discovery of petroleum, giving the people the impression that within a very short time the Gambia would start realizing money from that petroleum,
right,
which never happened for a number of years now. So it's it's a possibility that President Barrow also may be using political gimmick to to get the people to support his government or whatever. But the very fact that he has even given a deadline, like it's going to start 2019, well, I think it sounds more plausible on his side. Something that he has firm belief in, not only talking sick. Even though I'm a bit concerned about because such a big project like building a bridge across that stretch of water is definitely not going to be an easy thing. So we expected, at least there should be some feasibility study, and the feasibility study should not just be done, behind the scenes. Gambians must be involved in the feasibility studies. After the studies have been done, it should be reported to Gambians so that Gambians can have their input into it. But as far as I'm aware, that has not been done. So that's why I'm a bit concerned about, the credibility of the project, as he says. But the very fact that he's given a timeline, again, it means that probably the government is ready.
I will come to you in a moment. Mr. Jar,
yes.
We all know the APRC conversation, the private conversation between Jame and the executive. Who leaked the audios?
As I mentioned for the media houses, after receiving so many calls yesterday and today, we're still investigating. We don't know exactly who leaked the audios as we speak now.
Okay, you are still investigation as we speak now. But as far as I know, this thing was between Jame, Fabakari, and Yankuba Kwali. So who do you think among this will record this conversation?
Not precisely among the three that you've mentioned.
Okay.
There are always other parties involved, but not everybody talks. So recording, that's an internal issue within the executive. Like I said, we're still investigating. I can't just come on air and start mentioning names.
Okay.
That wouldn't be credible.
Okay.
But as an executive, I have confidence in the national executive, And I cannot explain all the procedures telling you Mr. X or Mrs. Y was doing the recordings.
But to get things clear, normally you record conversation, within the APRC executive record their conversation with Channel. Is that true?
Not all conversations are recorded. Some conversations are recorded. Sometimes when we summon an executive meeting, we don't have 100% attendance. There are those who don't attend.
Okay.
And in most cases, the conversations are lengthy, and we wouldn't be able to explain or go over everything, and recording that is like an hour plus. So normally we do this recording for the benefit of executive members who are not privileged to attend or to witness these conversations. We do play it back to them so that they hear from the horse's mouth. But normally when we do that, we collect people's phones. We don't allow them to record.
Okay, but for example, if you were there, I'm there, I will record, and when you come, because I'm the one who recorded, I will be playing it for other members to listen to what former president is saying.
Yes.
So, do you suspect anybody as far as this leakage is concerned?
Not actually. I don't believe in speculations or allegations of another people.
Okay.
What I believe is always, whether the media or whoever it will be, I would rather give the facts, for clarity's sake, for truth's sake. That's why I don't speculate or I don't bring allegations upon anybody, only concrete facts. I don't suspect anybody as of now.
All right. I will come back to Mr. Jawo again. With regards to the same bridge issue, people always talk about creative destruction. For example, there was when they bridged the Makati other end, the place became a ghost town. So, is there any possibility of something like that happening again in the event that Banjul Bara is built?
Honestly, I don't think so. I mean, as far as my impression is concerned, I think it is even going to help, Bara to develop even faster. The very fact that right now, people who live in Bara, who have urgent businesses across the river in Banjul or beyond, find it extremely difficult to get across from here. So it is a kind of a disincentive to for people to find homes in Bara, because probably most of their business is across the river. But if there is a bridge and they know that just within a few minutes or so they will be be able to cross over and take care of their businesses, probably they wouldn't hesitate to stay in Bara. As far as I'm concerned, I think it is even going to help the city, the town of Bara to grow even faster.
Okay. In Africa, we always complain about lack of employment. So you said it will help grow or help Bara to grow faster. But how about people? Is it going to we are just saying that if this thing happens, is it going to make people out of job as well when this thing happens, when they build the bridge?
Yes, initially probably, those who are using canoes to, ferry people across the river when the ferry is not working, and probably those who are also employed on the ferry and other things. Initially probably they'll be out of a job. But, people are very good at, adapting to new situations. Yes. And when that happens, when the bridge is built, probably those people who have been using these canoes and other things, would adapt to the new situation and, find other means of getting money.
Okay, we're having some issues here. They're saying they can't hear you well. Your mic, maybe if you're speaking, you can speak loud. So coming back again, which one do you think will be more cost effective, ferries or?
Well, in the initial initial period, definitely, if bridge would be very, very costly, because the stretch is a very, very lengthy one. It's about, they're talking about 7 kilometers or something. That definitely is going to be one of the longest bridges in the world, no doubt about it, and it will cost a fortune to build. But in the long run, I'm very positive that it will be more economical to the Gambia, because running the ferries, maintaining the ferries is very, very expensive. And just apart from that also, the very fact that the ferries have a time, they have to run within a time, while the bridge is, every time of the day and night you can be able to cross. It's going to be more economical to the Gambia, definitely, in the long run.
Okay. Mr. Jack, coming back to you again.
Yes.
So, to some, the leakage was a deliberate thing by whoever did this thing. But others said some of the executive members trying to show people that they are in control or they are in contact with Channel. What is your take on that?
To elaborate on that, the executive, they had this
audios long time ago. It's not like these few past days that they had. And like I clarified in our media houses, during the impasse we had, I believe those were the right moments for these audios to be released, because people were in dire need of wanting to know what the truth was and where directives were coming from, but they never revealed these audios. So when the dust settled already, then it wouldn't be important to reveal these audios. But I'm sensing some sort of connotation in this, or a set-up plan, I would rather call it, for the very fact that the day these audios were leaked, few days after that, there were some people within the APRC who were mobilized to make a courtesy call to the president, and a day after that announcement being made that APRC executive and militants have defected the party and pledged their alliance or their allegiance to the president, His Excellency Adama Barrow, which actually is all not true. So I'm seeing some sort of whoever is behind it is trying to create havoc within the party and lure our own supporters to go to President Barrow and support him.
You said something like, which is not true. What are you talking about when you say that is not true? You mean the former governors and National Assembly members meeting Barrow is not true, or people defecting from APRC to Barrow's camp? That's not true. What are you trying to say, which is not? What exactly?
Based on stories that are online, like I read on Facebook, they said the APRC executive went to meet Barrow, which is not true.
Okay.
The national executive were not aware of the people who went to State House, and they never authorized it. So that in itself, I don't know where the information came from. As a member of the national executive, that is not true. The other one, that is APRC executive and party militant defecting, which is also incorrect. That was news to me when I was interviewed on GRTS radio yesterday. I told them I'm hearing it for the first time. So these are the two issues I'm saying that it is incorrect.
It's incorrect.
Yes.
Mr. Jawo, recently you have been relieved of your responsibilities as the information minister. And many people say it's because of lack of incompetence. That's why you were relieved. So was that the case?
Honestly, I don't know why I was relieved. I think only President Barrow would be in a position, because it was never stated in my letter that these are the reasons why he relieved of my position. But incompetence, I definitely wouldn't agree, because as far as I know, I was doing exactly what I was supposed to do under very challenging circumstances.
So as far as you are concerned, it is not lack of incompetence.
Definitely not incompetence.
You did your best.
I did my best under the circumstances that I was working. Very challenging circumstances indeed.
Coming back to you, the APRC audios saga again. The national mobilizer, Yankuba Koli, is alleging that somebody might have hacked, but you talk to some people, they'll be like, these are encrypted in both sides. Does that make any sense to you that somebody might have hacked the conversation between Jammeh and the party executive?
There are possibilities. We're living in a world of technology, and I will give example. Right now we're sitting together. If your Bluetooth device is on, I can copy your files to my phone without touching yours.
Okay.
There are a lot of people who don't know this, and people who are aware. That's why when they're in public places, airports, etc., they switch off, they will turn off their Bluetooth devices. So there are many possibilities. Like I'm saying, we're living in a world of technology. Hacking could be a possibility, not only over encryption of WhatsApp messages, but other means could also be exploited in hacking or copying files.
So who do you think will hack your private conversations?
Like I mentioned earlier, we still don't have concrete facts about who did it. But connecting the dots, like I explained previously, there's somebody trying to create havoc within the party in discouraging or luring our loyalists or party supporters, moving them to another aim.
Somebody said there is, I can say people still say that there is power struggle in your party. Is that the case? Might also be a factor leading to what had happened?
Not actually. There is no power struggle at the moment. That was just a misunderstanding by one party trying to hold on to what definitely wasn't the case. I could call it greediness for power. But that's why the leaking of these audios, there are people with divergent views. There are some who are against it for the very fact that it's a private conversation, it shouldn't leak. which I also agree to, and I believe the National Executive has no interest in leaking these audios, because I said they had it earlier on when it was most needed for them to clarify. They never did. So why wait until the dust settles, then you leak these audios? So I wouldn't agree to that. But there is no power struggle within the party. Things have been set to light. And on the other side of people with a different view, they're happy that this type of audios are leaked, because there were a lot of allegations that were brought upon or labeled onto the former president Yahya Jammeh, that he had stroke, he couldn't talk, he wasn't feeling well. But hearing these audios, he was talking, laughing and cracking jokes, definitely blushed all those allegations that they leveled against him.
So it has both
It has
negative
both sides,
and
advantage
negative.
and disadvantages.
Well, I will come back to my two guests here, but in another news, Fatu versus O.J. Jawo case was in court today. You may remember that the former Agriculture Minister O.J. Jawo filed a civil suit on defamation against Fatu and at the High Court and in Banjul. The plaintiff O.J. Jawo was represented by lawyer Badu Conte, and the defendant, the Fatu Toure, Mustafa Kedabu, and Alaji Yoro Jallow were represented by A. Fati. And the first defendant, Fatu Toure, was not in court today, and the third defendant, that is Alaji Yoro Jallow, but Mustafa Kedabu was in court. And the defense counsel for the defendant, A. Fati, told the court that Fatu traveled in the remote part of the country, and she came lately at night and she was not feeling well. That was why she couldn't make it to the court. And we also know that the third defendant, Alaji Yoro Jallow, is out of the jurisdiction. That's why he was not served. So, but shortly after the case couldn't proceed, and it was adjourned to 15th of October 2018. And at that time, maybe before that time, the third defendant will be served, and the second, and they will be in court. But meanwhile, I'll bring an interview we had with the plaintiff's lawyer, O.J. Jallow's lawyer, Badu Conte, in this interview.
Replace your 3G SIM card today for the Real Africell 4G SIM and receive 1 GB of internet data for free.
Really?
Yes, get 1 GB for free just by replacing your SIM card at any Africell outlet. With no loss of contact, the cost of bundle from the 3G SIM card is the same for the 4G SIM. And guess what? With the 4G SIM card, you can also connect to the 3G network as well.
This is so cool.
In a competent court, and we believe in this court, and we have trust in this court, and we don't have any further comment because proceedings have already commenced. It's now in a stage that it will be sub judice for us to comment anything or to tell the public anything. But we know that we are confident that it's in a very competent court. And I have that confidence as being a counsel, and my client also have a confidence that we have a competent judge. And we believe that the outcome will be a fair justice will be done. Yeah. Will be given anyway. Yeah.
Are you confident of winning this case?
Yeah, I'm confident anyway. Every lawyer, when you took up a case, definitely you must be confident that the case you have been taking is a good case. But I cannot further comment more on the case because it has comments and it's in a competent court. It's not my duty to give further comments on it.
What exactly
on the merit.
do you want the court to do?
It's already on the pleadings anyway. It's a public document. You can request to the court. You will see my pleadings. And it's not hired to anybody. Go and take the writ of summons. You will see what I am asking for. It's a public document. If you ask the clerk or the registrar, it will be public. No, I will not comment further, honestly. I've been in high trial like this, and I'm not doing trial by media or trial by publication or trial by social media. I'm in a trial in a court, and I'm a lawyer that handles cases of bigger magnitude than this, but I will not compose myself. I discipline myself, and I always believe in the court, and I always go by court proceeding, but not by public gallery, but not by social media. I'm not a man of social media.
You believe you can win this case?
Hopefully, I always go for a win. I don't always go for a loss in my life. Whatever I do, I always go for the best.
You compared as among the toughest cases that you've served?
No, actually, I've been doing cases bigger than this in my life. I believe, if you look at my track record, I've done the Ngumbo Ture case, which is one of the biggest cases in this country with the university. And I've done the IC chairman case, Ali Mamar Njai, the economic crime case. I've done the Jambur case, which is the witchcraft case. I've done many, 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 not to mention. So this is not my first time doing cases which has public, attention or public interest.
You look at the media landscape now, I mean, it's way free, and since the case was mentioned, many people, especially on social media, have been saying the case is bogus, and there's a massive support for the case Fatu. So do you think for a second that you're going for something that you personally don't believe in?
I don't go by the media anyway. I go by my client. I'm being instructed by my client, and I go by my client's words. I don't go by media. In fact, I'm not in the Facebook. Could you believe? I'm not a Facebook fan. I'm not in the social media. But what I believe is I'm a legal practitioner, and I control and compose myself within my area of practice. But I believe also that people who are wrong if they believe that the media fraternity wrong them, there are other measures that the media fraternity can do that will not even come to this position today. We've been misquoted by journalists, but it is rectified and the case done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm going to replace my AfriCell 3G SIM card.
Why use a 3G SIM card when you have a 4G phone? Replace your 3G SIM card today for the real AfriCell 4G SIM and receive 1 GB of internet data for free.
Really?
Yes, get 1 GB for free just by replacing your SIM card at any AfriCell outlet with no loss of contact. The cost of bundle from the 3G SIM card is the same for the 4G SIM. And guess what? With the 4G SIM card, you can also connect to the 3G network as well.
This is so cool. I'll replace my 3G SIM card right away to the real 4G SIM and receive my very own 1 GB for free.
From AfriCell, it's always real and it's for free.
Where AfriCell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
Well, welcome back. That was the interview we had with the O.J. Jallo's defense lawyer, that is Badu Conte, and he was thrifty, economical with words during the interview. And after interview with Badu Conte, we had another interview with the Secretary General of the Gambia Press Union, that is Sekou Jammeh. And he told journalists at the High Court that the case is not about Ker Fatu. He said freedom of expression is on trial and not Ker Fatu. And he also said that O.J. Jallo has always been a friend of the media. So let's take a listen to the interview we had with the Secretary General of the Gambia Press Union, Sekou Jammeh.
For free just by replacing your SIM card at any AfriCell outlet with no loss of contact. The cost of bundle from the 3G SIM card is the same for the 4G SIM. And guess what? With the 4G SIM card, you can also connect to the 3G network as well.
This is so cool.
Who has been a friend of the media, and OJ is someone who has not only been a friend, I just told him that he has been one of the strongest supporters of press freedom in the country throughout, the more than 8 years that I have known him. I've interacted with him as a journalist. I've also interacted with him as the Secretary General of Press Freedom. OJ is someone who has defended press freedom quite well. So it's very unfortunate that such an attack is coming from him.
Well, but then we know that, that is, OJ, they are confident, his team are saying that they are confident that they're going to win this case, and it's pretty serious. This is going to, from the look of things, it's going to be a tough legal battle.
Well, we say that they may. It could go either way. But the essential thing is, even if Ker Fatu loses, we should all understand that in the Gambia, it's not Ker Fatu that actually lost the case. It is freedom of expression and freedom of the press that has lost. So that's why every individual that has conscience in the Gambia, every institution that is here to protect democracy should stand their guard and actually do not allow I mean, this matter to even proceed. I mean, a lot is at stake here. Our democracy is at stake. I mean, the accountability of government and transparency of it is also at stake here. It's not a matter of Fatu, it's a matter of press freedom.
What kind of support is Fatu getting from your organization?
Well, Fatu is getting every kind of support that, I mean, is needed. We are going to show support, we're going to show solidarity, we're going to give any kind of technical advice that we could give, I mean, that is needed. I mean, but Fatu, GPU is very much, I mean, fully behind Fatu in this case.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that is the interview with the Secretary General of the Gambia Press Union, Sekou Jammeh, there at the High Court. In the studios here, excuse me, Demba Ali Jawo, the former Information Minister, and Dudu Ja, the Deputy Spokesperson of the APRC party. Mr. Jawo, you had the audios. Were you privy to the leaked audios of the Jammeh conversation with the party executive?
Yes, I've seen them, like virtually everybody, because they've been trending on social media, and I've seen them. I've listened to some of the audio, and it's been very interesting. So it's, well, the very fact that it appears President Jammeh, or former President Jammeh, still seems to control the APRC from his base in Equatorial Guinea is another interesting situation. And because listening to the party chiefs, I mean, the way they were talking to former President Jammeh, it definitely shows you that he is still in control, and he still decides as to who remains in the party, who is expelled from the party, because I had him, telling them, instructing them to expel at least one of the recalcitrant members of the party.
You had the former Information Minister.
Yes,
What is your response?
Just to clarify, yes, that former President Jammeh is the founder of the party, and he's not dictating or has control over the executive. We owe him and give him the due respect that whatever decisions come on board, we do notify him. If people listen keenly through the conversation, he made recommendation. Left to me alone, this is the decision I will take. But again, the current party leader, Fabakary Tombong Jatta, is somebody whom you know that he doesn't go solo. Any matter that arises, he summons for an executive meeting, emergency or otherwise, and he listens to everybody. So whatever majority agrees, that's what we stand by. It's not like Jammeh dictates whatever is going to happen. There are some of these issues. He said it a long time ago. If you listen to the audio, he's telling Tombong, whatever I told you, you've come to see. Because when he recommended earlier, we engaged the people concerned to allow peace to prevail, negotiation and reconciliation. So all avenues were exhausted to no avail. Then we have to go back to what will take the party forward. That's what led to this.
You said Jammeh is not dictating the party, but like the former Information Minister said, he asked the executive to, to fire, or he was the one, I can say, hand-picking, bringing, and even said they should fire one of, like the minister said, former minister said, a recalcitrant member of the party. So what do you say to that? You said he's not dictating, but he has the last word or authority to say, hire this person, let this person be here, and let this person be fired.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This issue was put to him. The decision came from the executive. He's still an advisor within us. We don't do things leaving him out. As the founder, we have to give him the due respect. So this is a unanimous executive decision. He only approved.
Okay, he approved.
Yes, it doesn't mean that he came and said fire X, Y, and Z. No. We tell him whatever issue we have, we involve him in decision making. He has a right to give his opinion. Okay, when he says fire X and the whole executive doesn't agree, that's not going to happen. So that's what I want to clarify.
So does it mean that, okay, let's put it this way, is Jammeh powerful than the APRC, or APRC is bigger than Jammeh?
You don't call it power in this case. He's not within our midst. This is why we communicate, to make him to be aware of issues that are happening within the party.
No, what I mean, is he powerful than the party, or the party is powerful than him, Jammeh?
The party is powerful than anybody and everybody within. Because we have a constitution, and we go by the party's constitution, not what an individual says.
Well, that is the Dudu Ja, the deputy spokesperson of the APRC party. Earlier today, we had our reporters were out and they were sampling the opinions of people on what President Barrow said about building a bridge between Banjul and Bara. So let's take a listen to the Vox.
Get 1 gigabyte. Get 1 gigabyte for free just by replacing your SIM card at any official outlet with no loss of contact. The cost of bundle from the 3G SIM card is the same for the 4G SIM. And guess what? With the 4G SIM card, you can also connect to the 3G network as well.
This is so cool. I'll replace my 3G SIM card right away to the real 4G SIM and receive my very own 1 gigabyte for free.
From AfriCell, it's always real and it's for free.
Where AfriCell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
Hi viewers, welcome again to another Vox Pop of the Fatu Network. My name is Jaka and this is my co-host Fatu. We're here at the Serekunda Market to get the opinion of people regarding the president's plan to construct a bridge between Banjul and Bara. Fatu, what do you think about the idea?
I think it's a great move from the president's side and from the government side. The president has made his promise and we are here to know what the people think about the president's move regarding the bridge construction between Bara and Banjul.
Well, that is it, viewers. Let's go look for people to get their opinion.
loolu de support ma ko de parce que soo seetee daal ñun Gambien si foofu lañ mun a amee dara daal si diggante boobu noonu because luñ fa dee am daal def dee bëri torop soo moom si suma xelaat daal.
waaw loolu rafet la waaw loolu moom ñun ñaa ngi koy rafetlu parce que da ngay gis ne loolu bu fekkee ne dëkk mi ngi dem ci kanam waaw ci day dox ci jéego yu mel noonu xam nga waaw loolu la loolu moom rafet na trop.
nda de nga akode na ba kira fana de nga support because jama ban to min fan ka travel ni Senegal si do ka business o kana akam batandile wado just ne boy dimbayal ko to eta fo silo kay na ibo koronto pour kana mure le dimbayal ko to eta tara ela bara maybe star je ka bil eto kulok fo so o so mo so mana eto kulok so na ka ta ba mo jama ran sai ba business o fana ko so ne la min Gambia no min ka ta Senegal min fan kana Gambia aba ku jama so ne ndela nda da nga support le natara ay ba ko kera fana nga support
anyway lolu bax na torop parce que xam nga digante Banjul ak Bara digara dafa gata waaye ferry bi nit ñi dañ ci dé am problème lu bari sometimes di nga busy dafa dé overlap busy parce que di nga bëgg jaala nga yaakamte ferry bi ñëw dile la do dé mëna jaala suñ fa défé tam lolu luñ plan nonu lolu bax na torop lolu dina mëna dimbalé nit
bobu de no dun non si tay woni hawri o wadi dun don harayno mo yara ko wallugo jamaw na tabu jamaw na tampi don de lumbugol dongol harayno rondi tampere molanade so haray dun don si tay o walli dun don haray o walli jamaw no weltani mo dun don haray jamaw fono doro beydan mo doro naade kadi walla nawru lam makko ngo yeso tabu jamaw na tampi don de mo yano haray dun don en tori Allah yo Allah hu newno ay haray ko dum woni ko mi wowli fi mudum
ay kana lolu ñu ngi fay mooy gën a gaaw.
business kat yi diggante fii ak Sénégal dafa yomba parce que dema ñëw bi dafa yomba waaye su nekkee yaa ngi war a dem fii léegi Bara da ngaa waste time da nga dee jël fii ay 1 hour 2 hours balaa ngaa cross su nekkee yaa ngi amee emergency pour cross da ngaa gis ne da ngaa waste time.
bu fekkente ne dañuy ticket da ngay jënd ticket ba parce que pour man boobu mooy gën a gaaw daal.
président bi foofu jarul ñu bridge ko Bara buñ koy bridge tamit dafa nekk bridge boo xam ne dafa war a indi income. warul nekk bridge boo xam ne dafa war a nekk free bridge rek on a sanga dafa war a bridge boo xam ne dañ ko war a fay comme ferry bi ni may liggéey noonu la bridge war a nekk because of income la si Gambia.
bu ko mënee def kay boobu sant yàlla baax na pour jigéen ñi biir ak ñi war a ñëw Banjul ak jigéen ñi aussi war a ñëw Banjul yëpp baax na ci loolu yëpp ci développement réew mi la boobu jàmm la waaw.
waaw ñi faa jaay ñi faa ñëpp income la si ñoom because of foofu soo ko bridge rek nga nekk ko da nga gis ne ñi fa war a fanaan léeg-léeg duñ fa fanaan Bara dafa firi
ante ngaje ko mo ku kendo ti muna sabo keta ku kendo ti kadum every time ferio katu problema so anu nem ferio problema so to feri killing wala kabor anu feri killing woni Gambia no.
Welcome back. That was the Vox Pop at Serekunda Market regarding the bridge President Barrow said he's going to build between Banjul and Bara. Mr. Jawo, you had the voices here, divergent views. People have different opinions. Some are talking about convenient, but others are thinking about the cost involved. So do you think this would be the government's immediate priority, or there are other things that they can focus on other than the bridge?
Well, the government has a lot of priorities, definitely a lot of priorities. But if it is available, if the amount of money that is needed, the colossal amount of money which is needed to build such a bridge, I'm definitely convinced that it has a lot of economic benefits in the long run. And I wouldn't think if the government has money, but it definitely shouldn't prioritize that bridge. There are other things to give priority to. But as I say, the government doesn't have the money to build such a bridge. Somebody has to do it. If they get an offer from somebody who is an investor who is willing to risk everything and put in their money into such a bridge, why not? Give them all the facilities they need to go ahead with it. Because it's very good economic benefits to the country in the long run.
What is your take on the bridges? So, for you, as far as you are concerned, what do you think should be the immediate priorities of the government?
The bridge is important, but I believe there are other priorities we need to concentrate on.
Such as?
Health sector, agriculture, the electricity system, the water, especially we're now in the rainy season. We have very poor drainage systems. So these are things they need to focus on, connecting people together through building of roads. And in most cases, the highways are congested because mostly some of these down-net roads are not definitely good. So this building bridges is a long-term project. There are other priorities we need to focus on.
So as far as you are concerned, there is no need for us to have it in next year, 2019, as Barrow said, and you take 4 years for them to build it.
Yeah, unless and until these other sectors are given much attention to and upgraded.
So health, and
agriculture
and
water and electricity and road networks.
Mr. Jawo?
Yeah, let's look at it this way. As I said, the government doesn't have the money, and it will never have the money to build such a bridge. But if somebody, an investor is prepared to invest their money into this, honestly, I don't think it has to wait. Let them facilitate it, and so that it can be done right away. It has got a potential, economic benefits to this country. Because the operations of the ferries, you've seen how, problematic it is. Sometimes vehicles will come and spend a day, or even 2 days, or even more than that on the queue trying to cross. Sometimes, the ferries also have their technical problems, and all these things. If you have a bridge, definitely that's going to address that. So, it's not a question of government prioritizing this. The government doesn't have the money, and there is no way they can ever have this money. But if somebody is willing to risk their investment and put it into this, why not?
Well, we heard from the former Information Minister and APRC Deputy Party spokesperson. And we will also take a short commercial break and take viewers queue with Mariam Sise. When we come back, we continue with the program.
Hello lovely viewers, welcome back to Viewers Deep with Mariam Sise. Today Haruna Drama tweeted earlier and he said, the OP Camps team is really putting in time and effort. This is evident in the quality and timely delivery of message. Way to go. Hashtag meet the people of 2018. On the other hand, Pasamba Jawo tweeted and he said, I guess by the end of 2019, we will all know who the real Bible Mensa is. Hashtag Akasa. Gainako editor also posted and they said President Adma Barrow reveals in Banjul Bara Construction Plan 2019 as he unravels vision for New Gambia. On the other hand, Time newspaper tweeted and they said France's 19-year-old soccer star Kylian Mbappe is donating his entire World Cup winning to charity. On the other hand, on Facebook, State House of the Gambia posted and they said, as part of his constitutional mandate to meet new people every year, President Adma Barrow arrived in Bara today to begin his tour of the country to meet and dialogue with the people. He was received by the North Bank Region NBR Governor and elders of the region. That's all for today for your Viewers Deep with Mariam Sise. Don't forget to like us on Facebook with the same title and stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching.
Well, that was the Viewers Queue with Mariam Sise. And still here with the former Information Minister and the APRC Deputy Party spokesperson. Mr. Jawo, like I said earlier, you were in the cabinet now. You have been relieved. So what next for you now?
Yeah, I think I need time to rest for a while and then reflect on what I'm going to do next. As you know, it has been a very hectic 16 months I've been in government, and I definitely deserve some rest. So I'm taking advantage of this situation to rest for a while, and then eventually I will think about what I should do next.
You, the APRC. So finally, what will be your message to the general public?
What I would finally say, especially this late audio, that everybody's antennas are up, that we still investigating. And we wouldn't say anything, but it will be based on concrete facts. Okay. And I want to assure everybody out there that the APRC is intact and we're working to forge our way ahead.
So if you do your investigation, you get the facts, what next?
We call for a press conference and we let it loose so that everybody will bury it to rest.
And in the event that the culprit is within the APRC, what is going to happen to the person?
That depends at executive level what decisions we'll take. I can't personally decide what would happen. Whatever issue we have at hand, we table it and everybody's opinion matters.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome.
Finally, Mr. Jawo, what would be your message?
Maybe I should take advantage of this program to thank everybody. After my leaving the cabinet, all the sentiments people have expressed, and I'm really grateful. And but I wish to assure everybody that even though I'm out of the cabinet, but I'm still around. Gambia is my country, and I will definitely get involved in every aspect of life in this country. So I'm still around, and I thank everybody for all the sentiments expressed.
Well, that was the former Information Minister, Demba Ali Jawo there, and also have the APRC Deputy Party spokesperson there. So this is already what we have for you today, with me, Omar Wali, and my crew. Thank you for your time.